it's always hard as a second movie to surpass the first one in any kind of
Yeah.
franchise. But I think in its own right, it did well.
Honestly, to be honest, I like the second Matrix movie more than the first one. Maybe
It's
not
a hot
more.
take.
Yeah, can I kick him right now? Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Outback Gamehouse. I'm joined once again by Reese and Miinzy. How are you guys going?
Not too bad. Not late at all.
Good.
I'm getting a weird thing of deja vu.
Right?
Miinzy the
But I
lake.
swear.
Yes, that's right.
Uh, so it's been a while since we've done one of these, obviously. So a lot's changed. Uh,
Oh no. Oh
so what was the
no.
last thing we discussed when we did this was Harry Potter.
Yes.
Minzy's a bit delirious because he's had to
The
do this.
drugs. The
Yeah.
drugs were good this
Oh
morning.
no. See, the thing is, it's got a bit laggy again. So
Has it?
it did for a second.
It did for a half second there. Probably recorded fine on your end.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's
But yes,
fine on my end.
it's oh no. Oh no, it's gone laggy.
It's terrifying.
This is scuffed.
Is it actually
Well,
lag?
Miinzy,
You guys are fine on my end.
Really?
it's just you, so I guess we'll roll with it.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's probably recording him just fine. But either way, Miinzy, what did you think of all of the Harry Potters?
Oh my god. I have to remember them all. What's the one where Hermione time travels everywhere?
I don't think that's any of them.
Yeah, it
That's three.
is.
Not his, yeah,
Yeah.
it's his three. She's just a little time turner. Not
Yeah.
technically really time traveling everywhere,
Yeah.
but she goes back at like an hour in time.
Yeah. That has got to be my favorite, purely just because of that and how it all ties up in the end. I really like that. It got better as yeah, like as they got older, it got better. Um, I don't remember the name of that lady for a choice of words. um, but good God, I can't believe she didn't die. I can't believe that is even a character that they made. Oh my God, she was so infuriating.
Oh, what's her name? The
I can't remember her name, but I was straight up ready to fight my TV. But yeah, I actually didn't mind them all. I thought it was going to be worse than what it was. So pleasantly
Right.
surprised.
I'm trying to remember her name now. It's gonna bug me, but
Oh no.
I
Oh no.
I
There we go.
It's gonna be terrifying all day.
am I back?
Yes.
I don't know why, but it's fine on my end. So I mean, the recording's gonna be fine. It'll just be Minzy laughing every 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Leading into like every 2 minutes.
That's true.
Okay.
But no, I think I think I'm gone.
No, you still here.
Oh, you guys lagged. All right. No, so in terms of in terms of it's the ministry lady that takes
Yeah.
over as
Yeah.
headmistress. Um But I mean, she did a brilliant job as an actor because you're meant to hate her, and I guess everyone kind of did.
I think I like Joffrey as a character more than her.
Ooh,
She was
Bold.
infuriating.
Hot take.
Yes.
that's a big call.
Yeah.
That's a big call.
Yeah.
So, in terms of gaming, obviously, Baldur's Gate 3 coming out
I've been playing the absolute shit out of that.
for you guys on PC.
Ooh.
Yes.
Us on PlayStation have to wait, unfortunately. But
Yes.
Sirs.
I've been watching streams of it and people's comments, and it looks amazing.
Yeah.
I haven't heard too many bad things about it, to be honest.
There's a few things that I would have liked implemented.
He just can't leave a good thing alone.
It is good, but it's more just like little quality of life things, like the inventory. I wish you get bags in the game. I wish you could like rename those bags so you could have like a weapons bag, an armor bag, a food bag. Well, they give you a food bag, alchemy, and I think just a random one. But yeah, I wish you could like name them just so it organizes the inventory a bit more because you pick up a lot of stuff. And the only other thing would be if you could make like a full custom party. They don't allow you to do that. You can do it, but you got to fuck around to do it.
What do you mean by a full custom party?
So in the game, you can make like a custom character, or you can choose one of the origin characters, which have their own story.
Yeah. Much like Divinity.
Yeah. I wish you could play as 4 custom characters.
So because
right.
as you adventure, you pick up the people that you're going to take with you.
Yeah.
And then you can pick and choose from which ones you want to use.
Yeah.
There, because they are all different classes.
Yeah.
Did you set up with this full ass camp, or you send some of them away permanently?
Yeah, pretty much.
It's probably
it's
similar to
little
Divinity.
quality of life things like that. But besides that, the game is like a 10 out of 10.
Yeah,
I mean, it's probably similar to Divinity in the way how it was.
I concur. Did you play any of the older indie games there? Baldur's Gate, Neverwinter Nights.
I played Neverwinter and I played Baldur's Gate 2. I think 2, yeah.
Like of all of them, I think Icewind Dale was my favorite.
I didn't play Icewind Dale, no, but I did want to because I think they have a remastered version of it.
Yeah.
So,
but this is definitely on par with those. It's a great addition to the genre.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I was expecting it to be like a really good game just because I know how well Larian did with Divinity, and yeah, this just blows Divinity out of the water. It's not even close. And Divinity, when that came out, got Game of the Year. I 100% expect this to by like a mile.
I mean, I love Divinity. It's still one of my favorite games. So I'm really looking forward to this. It seems to be a complete contrast to how Diablo 4 is going.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw they released a video of like adventure with the devs on the official Diablo 4 YouTube page. And the video has gotten like a shit ton of hate because it is very obvious that the devs don't play the game. And unfortunately, because they're women that are playing it, people are going to hate on it anyway because people are like that. But even so, even if they were guys, they clearly don't know how to play the game. They don't know like what they're doing. They're just kind of pressing one button. They yeah, it's very just, I don't know, I guess disappointing, because it's like, it's not even just like artists or anything like that. It's literally like dungeon designers. It's like you'd think that you'd actually test your product.
I mean, it's unfortunately fairly common in the industry.
Yeah.
I guess if they're spending time playing the game, they're not spending time coding. I don't know.
I get
I don't know
that.
because the way that it feels, right? We're looking at let's look at a different studio. Because I watched the Bethesda direct, um, the Starfield direct, their little deep dive that they did, and all of those devs were like, "This is how many hours I spent playing the game and fucking around and doing this stuff. Now I have a table full of sandwiches because that's what I wanted to do was make tons of sandwiches." And just, I'm not kidding. But that is in contrast to like exactly like you said with Diablo devs, where it's just like we're pushing buttons on a thing, and if you don't like it, maybe we'll change it.
Yeah.
But they aren't actually spending a whole lot of time testing it and playing it themselves. Because and as we know, most of the WoW devs play WoW religiously.
Yeah, most. I don't think all of them, but yeah.
It does help when devs are playing their own game, obviously.
Yeah.
Well, because like even the dungeon designers, like a big thing in Diablo at the moment is there's so much backtracking in the dungeons. I feel like you need to play these things first and feel how fucking shit it feels to constantly be going like back and forth in a dungeon.
Yeah, there's a lot of downtime in some of the dungeons.
Yeah. And it's in complete contrast to the devs of like PoE. They, when they just had their, I think ExileCon in New Zealand, the devs literally played the game live on stage. So, yeah, it's weird. GGG is like a much smaller company, but than Blizzard, but still, you'd think that. I don't know.
I don't know. There's some terrible thing in being comfortable at the top.
Yeah.
Which is a big part of the problem. Interesting though, they came out yesterday and said they won't be waiting as long for Diablo 5 as we did for 4.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
So I don't know. I don't think they're done with Diablo 4 yet, which is okay. I don't mind Diablo. I'm still playing it. Still trying to finish it a little bit.
I don't think I'm done with it either. I mean, Diablo 3 didn't launch smoothly either, but then it became.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I didn't play Diablo 3 at launch, but I hear mixed things about it all the time. Some people love it, some people absolutely hated it. I'm just like, how?
At launch?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think in general the community sentiment for Diablo 3 it wasn't smooth at launch.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I think the game can still be saved. But yeah, I think it's just going to take time to implement all the changes that they need to. It's definitely it's good for casual gaming. Like I do genuinely have fun with it, just to pick it up and just do some dungeons here and there. But to play it as like a main game, it kind of gets pretty. Ugh.
It still can be saved. My main worry is, since Diablo 3, it's been over a decade and Blizzard has vastly changed.
Yeah.
And you've got different players that are now operating in there. Like Diablo 3 had David Brevik, who I still rate as probably one of the best devs out there, because he went on and did Marvel Heroes after Diablo 3. And that was a good game as well. And so they had a good person at the helm for Diablo 3. It's going to be interesting what they do for Diablo 4 and how they correct it from here.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I'm interested to keep my eye on it. So, Overwatch 2 has been getting some fucking heat as well.
Yeah, especially since
have they released the update where they were going to release a story, but then they didn't release a story. But then they were going to release a story with as a
battle
DLC.
pass, yeah.
With the price tag associated to it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's on.
Yep.
That came out the other day. Oh, last week actually.
Which actually no, I don't think the price tag to the story is the problem. I think the problem was the promised like hero upgrading system that they were going to somehow implement. That is not going to happen now.
Yeah. Yeah, they can just completely scrapped all that, which was literally the whole point of Overwatch 2.
Yeah.
So
because paying for the PvE content, that's fine, I think, because getting 2 as a free game for just the PvP is fine. But the actual work that goes into it, like they gotta make money somehow other than silly microtransactions.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty disappointing. It's the most negatively reviewed game on Steam. Which is yikes.
Which is funny because it just went to Steam, right?
Yeah, it literally, I think it had something like 70% dislike ratio when it went to Steam, like pretty much on the day, and it's only just kept climbing. It's up to like, I think 93% now. So yeah, that's hopefully it's a wake-up call.
I mean, I kind of agree. It's not a huge issue in my opinion because it was released as a free-to-play game, and having the add-on, I don't see it as and it was what 20 Aussie, so I'm not sure what probably $15 for the.
Yeah, I think it's 20 for us. Yeah.
So it's not huge. Like I've seen, I've seen much worse in terms of price points.
I think if they had the original like promised PvE content, I don't mind paying $20 for it. But for what we have now, I'm no. It's basically a few story missions and skins. It's like yikes. It's basically the most bare bone things that they could scrap together from it, I guess.
Yeah. So you guys been playing anything else or looking forward to anything else gaming?
Starfield,
and
I got 3 weeks.
That's about
just preloaded.
Yeah, just Starfield. Oh, and Spider-Man 2. Oh, that looks so good.
Yeah, we've got a bit of time there. So I ran through the first game and the DLCs. I'm now about to start the Miles Spider-Man 1.5.
I did get Miles. I got the Miles game because it was on the PS Plus stuff.
I actually didn't mind Miles too much. It's pretty short, and it's much of the same type of game, like pretty much a replica of it.
Well, that's why I call it 1.5.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually didn't mind it. Yeah.
Yeah, so I obviously restarted my playthrough of the first game because it's been what 3 or 4 years since that came out. So
yeah, it's been a while. Yeah,
and it's probably one of the best story-driven games as well. So yeah, I played through it and it's still quite enjoyable. Like so, the replayability on that game is pretty good, in my opinion.
Yeah. And a lot of the side stuff is also really fun to do.
Yeah, exactly. So I think I ended up finishing the DLC in terms of all the trophies on that. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it was uh that speed ball or whatever her name is. Her side quest annoyed me when I
Yeah.
first played it. It was just kind of frustrating. So
Yeah.
that was part of the reason why I stopped playing the DLCs. But I ended up getting it all done, 100% completed. So
Mm.
I was happy with that. I guess if there's nothing else for gaming, we'll move on to entertainment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. For entertainment, there's been a few things. Obviously, Secret Invasion, sorry, for Marvel, and a few other movies and stuff like that. So I guess we'll start with anything you guys have watched apart from Harry Potter since we last recorded.
I touch grass.
Barbie.
Yes, Barbie and Oppenheimer.
Let's start with Barbie. That's been a surprise um, box office hit.
Yeah.
And it's
$1
and it's
billion worth.
yeah. So and it's been appealing to people older than what I thought the target age group would be, which was
Yeah.
young girls or teenage girls. It's been more targeted to women actually and mothers, to be
It
honest.
was very much an adult movie. Like you could bring kids to it safely for the most
Mm.
part.
Mm.
But it was very much an older teenager to adult, themed set of messages there.
Yeah, we ended up watching it, and yeah, it's I guess it's very feminist driven in terms of what Barbie was originally created to be an image for, and what it ended up being, and it's surprising. Like I thought, wonder what Mattel's involvement in the movie was, but they make fun of Mattel and really give them a lot of shit.
I'm assuming those are the people that made Barbie.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I don't have kids to know any of this, so
to be young. Well, it doesn't matter. Shit. We all had these kids. We all had these toys.
It's got nothing to do with having kids. I mean,
Exactly.
they're the biggest toy making company in the world, I would say. GI Joe, Transformers, and all that.
I thought Lego would be pretty up there.
Yeah, and it
So
is.
I mean, yeah, kids movies do okay, but again, this wasn't really ended up not really being a kids movie, and the phenomenon, let's call it that is Barbie in general, right? Like every single girl in the last 100 years almost, right? What 50, has grown up with Barbie.
Hmm.
So like my wife was like, "There's a Barbie movie, we're fucking going. I don't care what it is, we're going." Right? Especially when she saw the level of production that was going into it. She's like, "Oh no, we're going to this because this is like a serious stuff, little cartoon thing, right?" Um, so from the outset, with no thought to what it was going to be about, we were going to go see the movie.
Yeah.
And it was again well worth the time. It was well worth it. It was a good message. It was an important discussion too, you know. And
I
then
totally agree.
arguments about China's map aside, it was good. I can conservatives will find anything to bitch.
No, it was surprising, and if you look at what's done well this year in terms of movies, it's been that, and I think even the Mario movie, two kind of throwbacks,
Yeah.
nostalgia factors have kind of
Mm.
done well in terms of box office hits. I haven't seen Oppenheimer, but I am keen to watch it because of Christopher Nolan and the cast as well. Looks pretty dope.
Mhm.
The cast was amazing. Oh my god. It was a really good movie. It's slow and there's lots of big words. But yeah, it was honestly really good. I went with my mate, and I think he was expecting more like action. I'm like, wrong movie.
It's not an action movie.
No,
It's scientist.
It's about
Scientist
the
building a
atomic
bomb.
bomb.
Exactly. Well, he kind of, I told him about it. I'm like, it's about the guy who made the atomic bomb. And he's like, oh, I think he must have just put like, oh, bomb, action. So, but I'm like, no, it's not an action movie at all. My only gripe with the movie is I guess the sound mixing was fucking atrocious.
Interesting.
Like there's just some scenes where you just can't understand what characters are saying just because other background noises aren't they're like too loud.
Right. Okay.
Oh. Did you watch like the IMAX, or did you go like the standard version?
Yeah.
Standard.
Yeah, which one?
Yeah, standard.
Okay.
Sorry.
So I wonder, because they made a big thing about how much effort they put in IMAX. I wonder if it just didn't translate well to standard.
Yeah, it could be it.
Maybe. Yeah. I didn't even know it was coming out in IMAX. I would have went and seen it in IMAX.
And, I saw a thing about how giant the freaking reels were for the IMAX
film. Yeah, so did I actually.
Things were fucking massive.
Yeah. But no, I really enjoyed the movie. There's a lot of politics which I just don't understand because I don't follow politics. It confuses me. But I understood the science stuff more than anything, and my mate understood the politics more than anything.
So as a great companion to this, right before the movie came out, there's another podcast I listened to called Last Podcast on the Left.
Mm-hmm.
They did a 5-part series on the creation of the bomb. So it's a good 10-hour listen too, but they go very deep into it. And they get a good, give you a good understanding of what was going on at the time.
Right. I might actually have to listen to
that. A couple of movies I wanted to see. I just haven't had the time recently, but I still kind of want to see Indiana Jones, but I think we're at that stage. It's probably better to just wait for it to come out on Disney Plus.
Probably, yeah.
But I've heard it's decent, especially in comparison to the last one, the Alien one, which I thought was a bit of a mess. A lot of indie fans have said that this one is actually pretty decent.
Yeah.
So I kind of
I just think it doesn't have the same fan base that it did. So they spent a lot of money on this movie, and it didn't turn around what they were expecting or hoping.
Is it still made by Peter Jackson, or
it never was? It was.
Not Peter Jackson. Fucking what's his face?
It's a
Spielberg.
Yeah, it's a George Lucas, Steven Spielberg, duo thing. But this one is the first one that wasn't directed by Steven Spielberg.
Oh, okay, but it was still by George Lucas.
Well, I mean, I think he owns, or maybe Disney now owns the IP. I'm not sure how that is all working, but I mean, it was originally George Lucas. Did we speak about Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse in the last podcast, or was that after the previous podcast?
I think it was, after. Yeah, I haven't seen it actually.
Which I haven't seen it yet either.
It's pretty good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Obviously there's a third and final movie coming out. But if you enjoyed the first one, you will really enjoy this one. The only thing is it abruptly ends. But that's because it's, there is a third one coming. But yeah, I thought it was a good movie. Still probably rate the first one slightly better, but that's it's always hard as a second movie to surpass the first one in any kind of
Yeah.
franchise. But I think in its own right, it did well.
Honestly, to be honest, I like the second Matrix movie more than the first one. Though, maybe
It's
not
a hot
more.
take.
Yeah, can I kick him right now?
I like them for different reasons, but I think overall I enjoyed the second one more, to be honest.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think it's
Though
pretty
it has
universal
been
that the
fucking ages since I've seen them, so I could have a completely different opinion now.
well, I sat through, I was so well, we spoke about this in one of the podcasts where I was looking forward to the fourth one, so I marathon the first three and then was severely disappointed by the mess that
Yeah,
was the fourth
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
it's
I remember
terrifying.
that.
Absolutely terrifying.
uh,
Um, the only other movies I've seen that I kind of enjoyed, so there was the Guy Ritchie's The Covenant on Amazon.
mm,
I thought it's been a while since I've seen a good kind of war-based movie, and I thought that was a good movie. Kind of gave me similar kind of, it was like simple, not overcomplicated, a bit like Jarhead. Um, Simple plot, but yeah, I thought it did well. Not sure if you guys have
Fucking
seen it.
hate Jarhead.
I have not seen it.
Did you hate
I've
Jarhead?
I am a Jarhead. Yes, I hated it.
Well then.
Hated that movie.
Now that's a hot take.
It's Jarhead's one of those movies where it's just had polar reviews.
Yeah.
Like people either love it or they
Yeah,
hate it.
love it or hate it, yeah.
But there was also Henry Cavill's farewell for The Witcher. Not
Yes.
sure if you guys have caught up on that.
Yeah.
I'm rolling through my. I had to re-go through the first and second seasons.
I didn't even finish the second season and I didn't bother watching the third.
Well, I watched it.
I actually liked the second season more than the first.
Second
I
season was good, in my opinion.
really I hated it. I thought it was so bad.
Well,
Actually I found the whole thing with Yennefer to be just scrap that entire plot out of the season. Siri was actually good, and Geralt was Geralt was Geralt.
I mean, the whole story is centered around Ciri, let's be
Yeah.
honest, and her
Yeah.
development. Um, I am I'm in agreement with Reese in terms of second season being probably the best. I
Really?
watched
Wow.
I've watched and finished third season, and to be honest, I think it's probably the worst out of the three. It just it just fell flat, and in terms of a farewell for Henry, it didn't really feel that great. I'm not really looking forward to fourth season, and
I don't think anyone is.
and I feel sorry for Luke Hemsworth, but well, it's Liam
Yeah.
Hemsworth, sorry, but he's got a big task ahead of him.
Yeah.
It's really gonna suck to be him because everybody's got a perception now. It's just gonna the whole season is just gonna compare him to the other.
Well, I mean, it's hard not to because Henry Cavill literally is the perfect actor for that role.
Mm.
So it's kind of hard not to. I don't think it's shoes that can be filled, to be honest.
It's big shoes. It definitely is, especially because he's such a big geek and he loves the franchise, and he kind of embodies the character.
Well, I mean, that's the whole reason everyone's so excited for his Warhammer series, isn't it? Hey,
well, yeah, and at least for that, he's got a bit more control, creative control, because he's on as an executive producer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I think that should do well for him. He's struggled obviously with Warner Brothers and being Superman, and
Mm,
now
yeah,
Netflix and Geralt. He hasn't had that control to put his own inputs in.
yeah.
So I think this should be good.
It all happened around the same time as well. It was like, oh yeah, he's no longer Superman. And a week later, it's like, yeah, he's no longer the Witcher either. It's like, fucking hell.
Well, the Witcher news came out first because he was supposed
Yeah,
to come
that's
back
right.
as
Yeah,
Superman.
Hmm.
that's right. Yeah,
We're anticipating the return of Superman, and then James Gunn was like, "Nah, we're not doing that."
yeah,
So it's just kind of like, well, fuck me. I left one franchise to be fucked by another.
yeah. Basically, yeah.
But other than that, I've been enjoying Apple TV. There's a lot of good shows on that. We were kind of late to the scene to getting Apple TV because unless you had an Apple device, you couldn't actually use Apple TV apart from going on a web browser
Mm.
and looking at it that way. But uh, this year or late last year, they added Apple TV to um, Android TVs, so you could actually install the app. So
Ooh, excellent. I might have to check that out.
Yeah.
there's been a few shows that I've watched recently, Silo, and the one with Idris Elba, Hijack.
Mm.
Two good shows. But yeah, other than that, I haven't really been watching much.
I've been catching up on some anime, to be honest, on Netflix.
I'm really just suffering through whatever the wife wants to watch right
Fair.
Fair enough.
now.
But we'll finish off with the Marvel stuff. So
On
again, I'm
that
not.
note, I'm gonna dip out because I haven't watched any of it.
Fair enough.
I have
I
to
don't
go to
think
work
Miinzy.
anyways.
I haven't either.
I don't think
Jesus.
Miinzy has either. So we'll keep this short.
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I thought that was a good send off for the team.
Oh, that was a wonderful movie. I didn't see that. Thoroughly
I
enjoyed it.
did see that, yes, actually, yeah. Cosmo was amazing.
Cosmo was great.
It-
There was so many times that I thought like Drax was going to die or Will was
Yeah.
going to die, and in the end, no one died. But I think that was it was better that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
But
would have
obviously,
been kind of cheap and easy to just kill someone off.
yeah. So obviously they've ended it with Peter Quill returning at some point.
Legendary Star Lord.
And we'll probably see some of the other that new Guardians team
Yeah.
somewhere along the line as well. But obviously the likes of Batista and stuff like that, I think they're done. Or they've already mentioned that they're pretty much finished with James Gunn leaving as well. So
Yeah.
but yeah, that was a good movie. Secret Invasion. So I won't go into much because you guys haven't seen it, but it was a decent show. 6 episodes, decent show, but nothing ever really happens. Like nothing game changing. It was an
I
okay
mean,
show.
I know there's a pretty substantial reveal ish. It's just that substantial ish.
There's a substantialist reveal, but it was kind of a filler series in a way.
Fair enough.
Like it kind of it does. There is a big enough reveal that um, will change some of the future for the MCU, but not huge. Not in the way that Loki did, or not in the way that WandaVision did, or some of the other Disney Plus shows. The repercussions weren't huge. It was a lot of the events in general are quite confined. And so were kind of Miss Marvel and She-Hulk, but you know, they brought something different, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it is what most of the public are saying, where they're just releasing too much for Marvel. Maybe they need to step back and just
Quantity over quality.
drive quality over quantity instead. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Which, as we this is going to kind of slow down here really soon because as we reach, I know Blade is already delayed. Yeah, the
Well,
SAG
you've got the strike
on.
still going on, and we spoke about that in our previous
Yep.
podcast. So it's been going on for quite a while.
Yeah, it's continued. It's delayed. The Avatar movies by years now.
Oh, but that's common for Avatar
upcoming
movies.
a lot of upcoming Marvel stuff is going to be starting to get pushed back real soon.
Yeah.
It's all a mess.
It is all a mess. Hopefully they get that resolved for everyone's sake. But apart from that, I don't think there's anything else to update on for this podcast.
I don't think so.
Yeah, good.
Apart from a few technical difficulties on my behalf, a pretty good episode.
And a late Miinzy.
And a late Miinzy. So thank you guys for tuning in once again. We will catch you guys next time.